Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I don't have a tutorial for you, but I do want to get you caught up on what's going on. What I've accomplished this past week. It's just been, well, the whole month of June has just been really busy, and this past week has been even more so. So I'm behind on recording, and but I have gotten a couple of things done. I just don't have any tutorials videoed at this point. I told you on Friday that I would have the layout for the vintage quilt block series, and I do have a couple of options here. This is the one here that I'm going to post, and it's going to have 4 rows of 12-inch blocks and then 2 rows of 16-inch blocks, and then sashing in between, and a 2-inch inner border and a 6-inch outer border. So that's what the directions will be for that. So I'm still having to work on the math for the yardage for the entire quilt, but the layout will be available. So if you've been sewing along with me and you have your blocks made, you know, the yardage you would need would be for your borders, your sashing, the backing, and your batting. So hopefully I will have that for you by Friday. Couple things that I've been working on is I made a couple of small wall hangings for my studio, and I hadn't gotten around to binding them, so I worked on that. So here is one. This is a Lori Holt pattern. This is her flea market flower tutorial, so you can find that on her blog. And then I'll lay it over my shoulder for a minute. Here's another one, and these are all going to go in the studio on the wall here. And then here's the third one, so a nice big sunflower. And I did a tutorial on this one as far as I think the quilting. I did one on the quilting for that. The week ended kind of on a rough note. I tripped over my dog going down the stairs, and I fell and hit my head. So I'm fine. I didn't have any serious injury. I just needed to put an ice pack on my head, but it's still sore right here, and my left knee is sore. So the whole week had been just kind of like that, mostly with my office job and just technology. You know, technology is really great. You know, we all watch YouTube and we know how important that is, but sometimes technology just doesn't work, and it causes more problems than it's solving. So that's kind of what I was going through this past week. So it was just, the whole week was just kind of a struggle with that. And sometimes I think it's weather related, because we had a lot of rain. We had a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, but I think week before last we had 17 inches of rain. And this past week, I'm not sure how many we had, but it rained every day this week until Friday, and then we didn't get any rain on Friday. But I noticed the computer at work, as well as my computer at home, it was getting more and more sluggish, and I don't know what the weather has to do with that, but it seemed to be related. So anyway, I've got that done. I have another project. Let me grab my bin here. I am doing Lori Holt's sew by row sew along, and so here's the book, and each month they send you a kit with the fabric for the row of blocks for that week. So I thought I would show you those, and let's see if I can go in order. Here was the first week. Now these are really cute. This is another thing to go up in my sewing room, in my studio down here. But they use really small pieces, a lot smaller than I'm used to. So, but these are scissors, and I think this is just really cute. And yep, still showing. And all different colors. So I made blocks and put the sashing together. So that's row number 1. And I did sew the buttons on these because in the center these are buttons. And you know, you can wait and sew them after it's quilted. If you have a long armer who does your quilting for you, you might want to ask him or her what they prefer, because you know, they can't sew through them, they have to work around them. So whatever quilting design they put in there, they're going to have to work around it. So if you're doing custom work, it's not a problem, or if they're doing freehand all over. But if they are doing a pantograph on a computerized machine or on a paper pantograph, it can be a problem, because they're going to have to watch where the needle is going towards your buttons. And so ask them about that, and then you might need to put those on last. Let's see, can't remember what week this was. Okay, this was the second week, was the pin cushions. So tomato pin cushions in all different colors. So I will take an evening once a month and work on all my blocks, and then take another evening and sew them together. So I think those are cute. And then this one, I'm going to probably have to back up for this. These are sewing machines. There's 3 sewing machines. There's my green one, and there's a teal, and a pink one. I think they're cute. And I haven't done a sew along in a long time, so I'm really been enjoying this. And then this month is a row of blocks. And the centers, these are 1-inch finished, 1-inch finished squares, so it's like a 3x3 9 patch. So this is all of her, I think this is the Prim fabric. What I'm working on with the vintage quilt blocks is the flea market line, and this is her Prim line. So I'm kind of in a Lori Holt routine right now. Anyway, I like vintage fabrics, and I like hers. I've had hers. I've run across her fabrics every once in a while, and I usually pick them up. But this is the first time I've kind of concentrated and worked quite this much with them at once. So that's one project, and it's got a couple more rows, three more rows or more maybe. So I got that. And then I have some of my wall hangings that I need to bind. So I'm trying to finish up some projects that you know, they're partially done but not completely done. So these are some of my little landscape quilts, and they need binding on them. And this one is done. This little quilt, I started beading on it, and I just have 2 petals left to bead, and I stopped for some reason, and so I need to finish that. And then some of them need hangers on them, a way to hang them. And like this one, I put a sleeve in, so I can put a little dowel rod through there and hang it. I've got one, I think I brought it down, but I don't see it. Oh yeah, this one, the butterfly one. I've got these little pockets in it, and a dowel rod can slip in here. You just kind of slide it up, and it will hold your quilt up, and you just, put a nail or a command hook on your wall and hold it up that way. And then I also use on this one, you've seen this one in my video, this is a yellow rose. On the back of this one I have loops, these little rings. The rings, these little plastic rings that are curtain rings. And this quilt is part of a display of other quilts made by other quilters. It's a rainbow quilt display, and we each took a color and made a quilt for it. And I took yellow, and the yellow, blue, red, orange, purple, green, red, violet, blue, violet, yellow, green. We did all of the primary and secondary and tertiary colors for the rainbow quilt, and we each made one of these. They're the same size, and we decided that we wanted these loops on the back, these rings on the back, to hang them, so displayed them at a quilt show. So I've got those on there. And then if you're looking for a little quilt, like these little ones with the pocket in the back, you know how to hang those like this. This is what I've got. And it's a dowel rod, and it's got wooden beads on the end that I glued on there, and then I braided some string, some twine, and made a hanger on it. Just tied it on each end, and then on this end I strung some smaller beads on the twine and tied a big knot on the end, and to keep the beads from falling off. And then I just looped it around here so that I've got, I can get that to come through right. Here we go. So I've just got, a little kind of a decorative piece hanging off the side. So this is kind of what it starts with. This is one that I started, but it's just a dowel rod. I think this is a 1/4 inch dowel rod, and I glued the beads on the end right here, and then here's the little string of beads here, and you can put as many beads on there as you want, or not at all. And here it's just on by a loop. I just looped them through and just tied it on a knot. And then I'll let's see if I've got one with a, okay, here's one. And I'll just slide it through. Just slide it through like that, and bring this around and tie it here, and then I can hang it. You can hang it from a nail or a command hook, or whatever you want, and you got a little wall hanging. So I need to finish those up. So these have been in storage. I've had them stored in a container, a storage container here in the house for several years now, and I just never finished them. So while I was going through some of my stuff, I pulled out all the things I need to finish, and I've been working on those little by little. So got a couple to bind. I've got a couple that need some kind of way to hang them, and still have some of these. And the difference between these, this one is pale, one is darker, and that's because I painted this. I just got some brown craft paint and painted it. That's all I did. So just to give it a different color so it's not the raw wood. So that's what I did with those. Okay, I think that's about it. Like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time to do quilting this week. It's just been a busy week, and I had that fall, and that kind of set me back a little bit. I had needed to take the day to keep ice on my head and my knee, and just kind of relax for a bit. So and now it's the holiday weekend, and it's still hot here. It did cool down earlier in the week with all the rain. You know, we didn't have any sun for several days, so it cooled down, but the sun's been out for 2 days now. This is the third day the sun's been out. So it's hot again, and it's humid, and the air is running constantly. So it's hard to get time to film anything without a lot of background noise. So that's always a fight here at the ranch. So I think that's about all I have for you. So hope you enjoyed this. It's a completely different video. I rarely do vlogs because people don't seem to like them very well, but otherwise I really just don't have anything prepared for today. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you all had a good 4th. If you live in the U.S. and you celebrate the 4th, I hope you had a nice weekend, because we all had a nice long weekend off. Most of us did, I guess. And anyway, so if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. Don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links, and to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.